I am Anthony Giarrusso. This is episode 1, and you are going to be listening to me retell the stories of my dreams and what I remember in those dreams. Today, I'm going to be going over my first dream that I remember continuing to remember. Most people don't remember their dreams, but for some reason, I am remembering dreams quite well lately. But my first dream happened to me when I was a very young child, in which I would call it a nightmare. However, it's just very, very odd. I remember as I was living back then as a child that it wasn't normal for people to remember their dreams. So that kind of spooked me a little more. So let's get right into it. So what I remember is I was probably about the age somewhere probably between maybe 5 and 8 years old. So I was quite young. And in the dream, I'm my own age, and I'm at the house in Stroud, New Hampshire, with the gray on the outside with the ugly pink shutters. The tackiest looking house possibly in the world. And that's where I lived. And I remember in the dream, I go down the front steps of the front porch. I walked down the brick way which led to the driveway. I walked down the super steep hill that was steeper than any other driveway that I've ever really encountered until I started traveling in my 20s and more, seeing even steeper driveways in foreign countries. But this is the steepest driveway I've ever seen in the United States of America, and we had it. And I walked down the steep driveway onto our main road, which also is on a slanted hill. And I walked down this slanted hill area towards a cul-de-sac that's like this big square cul-de-sac, big enough for a school bus to turn around down. And I'm over there in the cul-de-sac. I can see that I can't remember if there were puddles in the dream. There might have been puddles in the dream. But I remember that there was water coming down the creek, just like in real life. And it's still like that today. And what happened in the dream, you know what there was? I think there was puddles in the dream. I think there was. I think the cul-de-sac area was kind of wet. Well, this is an interjection, not part of the dream, but I had this dream a long time ago, so I don't remember all the details. But there was something really, really sketchy that was about to happen. So I'm playing, I'm having a good time down the cul-de-sac. Now that's something I would do, and I would do that alone sometimes. And then all of a sudden, this golden object, it doesn't naturally come out of the forest. It just it's almost like it's hovering, but it's like making jerky hovering motions towards me. But it's not exactly coming right at me. It's just weird. It's coming out of the forest. And it looks like a dog, but it's made out of gold, and it's a solid object. So it's not like a dog that's gold walking like a dog. It's just imagine like the metal piece for the dog in Monopoly, but that's usually silver. But imagine that as gold and about the size of a dog, and it comes out of this forest making jerky motions, but it's all flat. It doesn't change elevation, and it's coming out, and it lands, or it doesn't really land, it's just already at ground level of this. And once it hits ground level, it still moves that way, but it makes this very weird metallic sound, like it's almost as if it's hopping, but it's not hopping in the dream. Or if you've ever banged a hammer against something really hard of metal, like metal on metal, that's kind of like the sound it made when it moved. Almost as if it was hopping metal, but it wasn't. It's just really weird. As if the metal was hopping on other metal. It's just very odd. And it would just kind of follow me. And if I tried to go, right, like if I moved a step, it would come back out of the forest. It was really weird. So it came out of the forest onto the pavement. Then it kind of like went back into the forest. And every time I took a step or a couple steps away, it would come out of the forest. Okay. And then I started trying to go towards my home. So I'd have to take a few steps, and then this thing would actually start to follow me up the road. So I'd have to take a few steps, it would stop, and then it would go back into the forest. And I'd take a few steps, it would come out really fast, and then it would go back into the forest. And I kept doing that until I was home, and it probably came in and out of the forest at least, I don't know, maybe about 40 times, close to 40 times, before I ended up getting back onto the deck of my house, opening the door, and then I opened the door of my home, and then I wake up from the dream. But it always kind of scared me because, number one, I never liked dogs or canines, and it scared me even more because it's this gold object. I don't know what it is. It looks like the shape of a dog. I don't know what the heck is going on. You know, and to be so young to have a dream like that, it was absolutely frightening. And that is the first dream that I ever remembered ever having. Thank you for listening to episode 1. I'm Anthony Giarrusso. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.